Welcome to my messy fingers. This is Charlie. I am going to do a walkthrough video for you of the wedding album that I just completed for Scrap and Create. All the items that it took to make this were supplied to me by Scrap and Create. You'll find their links for purchasing everything in the description line. Now, the album itself measures 10 by 8.5, and it has a 2.5-inch spine. I did go to, the only thing they weren't able to supply me were my ribbons and my lace. I did go to Joann's and got some ribbon and lace, trying to pull out some of the apricot colors in this. So I got a roll of satin apricot lace. You actually only need maybe a yard of this. And then I got this roll for the outside on my corners of my spine. Ended up needing maybe a yard of this, letting you know that so that you don't have to buy a whole roll if you've got pieces around. But I did get a full roll, 5 yards of this lace that I've used throughout, and I have maybe 2 feet left. So you will need quite a bit of lace if you're going to follow the build the way that I have it. Now, when I went to Joann's, I took the paper with me and I wanted to try to find a color that I could back the paper onto so that this didn't blend into the white cardstock. I wanted the paper to kind of pop up off of itself. So I did find this coordinate at Joann's. It's Coordinations, and the name of the cardstock is Layflower. And I did get 3 sheets of it. It took 2, one for the front and the back, and then the side panel. So then I laid that down, and then I cut this piece to put on top of it, and you can see where it does help to pop and pull some of the colors, and this paper is not blending and kind of disappearing into the white. This is a 12 by 12 sheet. It had some card elements over here, but I wanted this image. I wanted the arch image. And then I went in and found this piece here. I do believe it was one of the larger pieces on there's a sheet of cutouts that you can use. And I fussy cut this out, mounted it on some leftover chipboard so that it would pop. So I placed it in front of this curtain so that there was a little bit of dimension. This here is the actual tag for Always and Forever, and it's on the front of each of the paper packs, and I cut one of them out and used it here on the front as the sentiment. Then in the 12 by 12 sheets, there's some cutouts for butterflies. I cut those out, and then I popped them up on a little pieces of chipboard so that there was some dimension and put them there. These pieces here was provided to me by Scrap and Create. You get a little bag of goodies, and from what I understand, while supplies last, she will give these to you when you order the full collection of the paper from her store. So we go around, and I've got a tag here on the end, and you can see where the lace wraps around. And then I fussy cut this out of the cut-aparts. And we're using a satin ribbon for our opening and closure. So as we get inside, here again, this piece here, it was actually, this is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that I've actually trimmed to cut. But on this side was the wedding dress. So I took my craft knife and I went in and I fussy cut this out and then mounted it up on some leftover chipboard and then put it right back in place so that the dress comes off the paper and looks like it's kind of flowing a little bit. These are the flowers that are coming off the image. Too delicate for me to try to cut with a craft knife. I used one of these tags up here so you can put a last name, you can put a date, whatever it is you wish to do. And then this was the right side of that paper. You can put a photo right here. And then when you open this up, we have a pocket over here. And I cut out some elements for the pockets off the cutout sheet. We have a big pocket here. I cut this out, and in that little bag of brass goodies was the word love, and I just glued it right there in place in between the two doves. I thought that was kind of fitting. And then you've got another pocket over here, delicate lace accents. On this piece, it's actually opening the wrong way. This is another 12 by 12 piece. This is the image on the left side of the paper, and this is the image on the right side of the paper. So I cut to fit. Beautiful array of floral. You've got your cake. And then on the inside here, we've got a small pocket here. Lots of room for either journaling or a photo. These next two pieces are true to their size. What did they measure? They ended up measuring roughly 5.5 by 8.5. They're on the 12 by 12 sheet, and then on the bottom of it there's some other card elements. So I cut these out true to form, so you can put a nice photo right here. This beautiful clock. You could cut a round photo if you're brave and put it right there. This opens up. You have some nice journaling or photo sides here. Here is a journaling card and a spot for a photo. And then I used as much of the leftover paper that I had, and I cut some photo cards out. Here's your big pocket. The wedding shoes, I fussy cut them out and mounted them on a little bit of chipboard so that they would kind of stand up. And then on this side we have another pocket. And I fussy cut out the champagne glasses, put them on cardstock and mounted them there. This is one of the envelopes that is in your cut-aparts, and you score, trim, fold, glue. This would be a great item to use for your little tiny things, like the candy wrapper for maybe some gifts that you gave out. Put the candy wrappers in here. Put some rice in here, any sequins. Put those small little things that kind of get lost or forgotten. Put them in here. You can put a magnet right here, or maybe a Velcro closing right there, and then you have them forever. On this page, I wanted this settee set, so when I cut this to fit, there were some elements down here on the bottom left corner that then looked out of place, so I created a pocket. And in that pocket is another one of those cute little envelopes, and I cut out one of the little invitation off the fussy cut page. Tucked in there, popped up a butterfly. When you open this up, then you have this nice good sized pocket over here. And then you've got another pocket here with a great opportunity for photos. And then over here you have another pocket with a tag in it. Am I closing this the right way? No, there we go. All right, so now what I've done here is I've taken some of that extra cardstock that I had, and I wanted to kind of break up the theme about midway of the book. So I used that Coordinations cardstock here. Now, if you followed the pattern, you use the papers I use, there were 3-piece sheets left over that if you flip them, you have that orange element or tangerine element that you could use here instead of the cardstock if you wish. So then I made a closure, and then I used all the cutout cards to make the waterfall and put a final piece there, and then you've got a pocket here. I did fussy cut out the doves, put them there on the bottom. And then on this side, this is another one of those pieces in the collection that this is its true size, and this one as well. But in your fussy cut, the cutout sheet, the 12 by 12, is this Volkswagen Beetle. It is exactly the same size as the Volkswagen Beetle that's actually underneath of it. But I took this and put it on some cardstock so that it would pop up a little bit and you can see the little balloon elements there. Made a pocket up here. I cut this out of your cut-aparts. And then there's this element. You can put a nice photo right there. And we have a pocket here on the inside. Big pocket, lots of room. Great, beautiful spot for a 5x7. I fussy cut this out and this, and then laid them in as your decorative elements. You have lots of room here to put a nice size photo. And then here on this page, this piece right here is beautiful. However, I would encourage you to look at this not for the wedding dress, but for the floral. Take one of your own 5x7 photos or a 4x6 photo and place it right here, and then the flower arrangement acts as the accent to your photo. Don't be afraid to cover that up. Big spot for a photo. Okay. On this one, we have a little tag closure. This piece had a big, large clock on it, and I wanted the clock up here as kind of a corner accent, and then I wanted to focus on this piece here. Open this up, and we've got another pocket opening with lots of room for journaling or your photo. This would be great to put a nice photo right here and let the other floral act as its elements around the side. And then we have a pocket here. I did fussy cut this out as well as a butterfly, and I placed it here as your element. And then we've got another large pocket. And again, the lace throughout the album. And then again, here's a brass piece that came in this little trinket bag. It covers up a butterfly that's right there, but I wanted the symbol always and forever to be the heart, so I placed that on there. And again, I cut this out off the front of one of the pages. And then in here, these two panels, if you've pre-made the album, this would be a great place to have your guests come in here and sign these pages. And then if you have need extra, you've got these two panels here. Then there are these two photo opportunities with a large pocket. Again, a great big spot for a 5x7. And you can put some small 3x3s or 2x2s here. And then on the last page, which is your back panel, I made a big pocket. This was a leftover piece that were in my scraps, and you'll find as you go through the video, I use my scraps a lot. But this was a piece, and it fit perfectly for the size and the dimension of the pocket I wanted. You can't have a small pocket and expect it to hold a lot of items, because if you have leftover photos, or you've got invitations, you've got cards, you want to be able to store them. So I made a large pocket. I used this little card, made a tuck here, and then you have room here to put a 4x6 or a 6x6 or some 3x3s. And like I said, you've got a nice big pocket. But to the best of my ability, I did make a little booklet with a lace closure using some of the paper that was left so that you can put your photos in here. And that sits right in there. And that is the Always and Forever collection by Ciao. And thank you very much to Julie at Scrap and Create for having provided all the elements that it took to make this. If you want to purchase it, I've supplied all the links in the description field, so head on over to her website and take a look at what else she's got available. And I thank you for watching.